Hi everybody, this is Rob. I'm going to go through that prezi presentation that I gave during the first class, and I'm going to do it in a hurry, and I'll also send it to you so that you can look at the information in more detail if you would like. So here we go. I started with a map of the world, and we talked a little bit about where everybody was from. I said these are the topics that can come up when you talk about international trade. I gave a little introduction to who I am, and I tried to make something funny as though I was actually listed in a dictionary. And I said that I was recommended by Albert Einstein, the famous scientist. And I did say that I know that I don't know, which is actually a quote from Socrates. Or actually it was Plato who wrote it down, who said that Socrates said that, but he's known as being a father of Western education systems. So I went through, as far as my style goes, because everybody wants to know that, and I went through at least a portion of a broadcast from National Public Radio on Please Don't Lecture Me, which I happen to believe is very true. I don't learn from lectures, and I don't think that most people do, and they give some pretty good evidence to say that. And so I'm going to try not to lecture too much in this class. There's the link to it. You can get to that if you want to listen to it again in more detail. And I said that we're going to talk in forums, and so that we kind of organized our class into 4 groups. And we were going to go through some speed dating, but actually what I did, because of the timing and just setup and all that kind of stuff, I said just introduce yourselves, and you'll be talking an awful lot to each other, and hopefully you'll get to know each other's names and more about each other during this class. We're going to talk about international trade organizations. We're going to talk about international market research and planning and identifying potential suppliers. We'll talk about sales channels. We're going to talk about regulations that affect, from international trade perspectives. We'll talk about international trade financing. We're going to use a learning management system to assist, and it's Moodle. Most of you are logged in, or more than half of you are already. I did say go ahead and bring your mobile devices, your laptops, your pads, your cell phones, and feel free to use them during class, especially to look up relevant information. I did say that I use LinkedIn for professional networking and also with my graduate school. And I use Facebook, but mainly just for friends and family. And I use a lot of different Google products, and we'll be using some of them here. I did say that if there's any one thing you need to know, it's be connected to me by Gmail. Okay, so anyway, I showed you this, and by being connected through Gmail, if you have a cam, I have a cam on my computer most of the time, we can at least text chat immediately. If you have a question about something or you didn't understand something, we can either chat or we can video chat just like this. And if you have a cam, then the two of us can just have a conversation just like this. So anyway, I'm going to send out a Gmail. I hope that you somehow figure out a way to hook up. I don't think that you have to have a Gmail. I think you can use whatever it is. Some people do that. I know that I have other people that use whatever, Hotmail or Yahoo and as their primary mail, and somehow they figure out how to connect with me, and we have video conferences and this other thing I'm going to show you. Here. Okay, well, this is a little commercial, but it's about Google Hangouts, and you can have up to 10 people in a room at one time, and it's a very engaging way to do things. You can actually tie that and do it on YouTube Live. I know that presidents and candidates have been on there. Taylor Swift has had 80,000 people in this. The Huffington Post, which is a newspaper, uses this platform for lots of people are using it. It allows you to have 10 people in a room at one time. I use it for education, online courses, so we can have like a global conversation from all over the world, and I do frequently. Okay, how are we going to learn about this international trade? Well, we're going to use the Moodle platform, and the first thing, what we're going to try and do out of this is we're going to try and get everybody to do critical thinking. That means think about the different types of information that you gain and you learn. And this is a hierarchy, Bloom's taxonomy, they call it. But you know, you can get different. There's knowledge, then a little harder than that is comprehension. Can you apply what you've learned? Can you analyze, synthesize, and then there's the evaluation of it. So this is a methodology of critical thinking. And so that's what I'm hoping that everyone's able to do in this. They think about the information and they discuss it and learn to do the evaluation. You know, we'll see how that goes. It doesn't have to be everybody's up here. We'll try and do that. Okay, so we're going to use Wikipedia. I think I gave a demonstration where you can read individually because it doesn't make any sense to read as a group. And then just to make sure that everybody reads, there's going to be a little exercise afterward on the same thing you just read. You know, fill in the blanks. And I'm going to use some other resources. This is not the only one, but I'm going to use Global Edge. And that's all embedded in Moodle. And when we get to class, then we separate into groups and we have conversations about what it is that we learned. And I know that some of you are wondering, how could we possibly talk for 3 hours? Because we're used to sitting there and just listening to some sage on the stage talk and read PowerPoint presentations, maybe with some pretty pictures or something. But what I really want to do is I want you to learn from each other and each of the groups to learn, and I want to learn right along with you because I'm sure that you have different perspectives and different things. You know, everybody's different. They got something to bring to the table, and that's part of andragogy, and you guys are adults and you have great knowledge, even though you might not think so. Okay, so this kind of just shows a little picture of how we're going to be having these conversations when we get in there. The reason that I split us up into groups is because it gets very complicated when you look down here. Very complicated to have a conversation when you have a lot more people. See all the different connections in there? So I try and break it into smaller sized groups where the number of connectors are fewer. Here's the thing about pedagogy. And that is, there's a sage on the stage. This would be for children. This is where I'm the instructor. I know everything. And I tell you, and you have to learn what I say. And then I test you on that. And in andragogy, which is for adults, which you guys are, you'll notice what this shows is that everyone is a teacher. Everyone comes to the table and has some unique way of expressing what the topic is based on what they learned, what their experiences are, culture, all kinds of different things. So that's the method that we'll be using. This is a little map or a little diagram that shows Bloom's taxonomy. I'm sorry, this shows Maslow's hierarchy of needs. And I just mentioned that down at the bottom here, you guys are not in the I need some food and water, and you're probably closer up to here because you're taking these courses. You're in the area of self-actualization, or you experience purpose or meaning. But along the way, we'll see if we can develop some friendships and some self-esteem and all those different types of things through conversation during class. What are we going to talk about? The topics for this week. We'll have a different topic each week. How do we do that? when we get into the classroom, we're going to ask each other questions. What kind of questions are we going to ask? Well, I'm going to send you a link on Socratic questions. I had mentioned that, and he's Socrates. It's based on Socrates, and he had a way, they call him one of the founders of Western style education. So he's from Greece, and there's some others in there, Plato and some others along the way that have been influential. But to have a conversation, he has 6 different types, these 6 different types. You can read about those there. And I'm also going to send another link too so that you can read through there. What I'd like you to do is look at that and then say, what are these different questions that I could ask? Then read, say, for example, the Wikipedia articles and say, okay, now let me question this in different ways. And then when we get to the classroom, then you would take the group, in your group, and these are different types of questions that you could ask of each other. And when you do, you might clarify what your viewpoints are, where did you get that, what's your evidence, and that's a learning process. So anyway, that was the presentation. Pretty sure? Yep. Okay. So anyway, I look forward to learning from you and sharing what I do know. I do know a little bit. But I look forward to that, and I look forward to this whole experience, and I hope you have a great time and question everything.